Welcome. I'm Nina Burgess, Programs and Audience Engagement Intern at the Colby College Museum of Art in Waterville, Maine. This is Artful Movements. Artful Movements is a part of the museum's wellness initiative under the larger program Let Art Inspire. In this program, we select an artwork from our collection and we pair it with the yoga pose. Before we dive in the yoga portion of this program, let's first look at the artwork that inspired this month's theme, Let's Breathe Love. Today we look at the work by Robert S. Duncanson, Veil of Kashmir, 1870. Robert Duncanson was a renowned painter, photographer, muralist, and one of the most influential Black American artists during the antebellum era and the Civil War. Born in 1821 near Fayette, New York, most of his lifetime was spent in Cincinnati, Ohio, a growing hub for abolition and art at the time. At a young age, Duncanson personally developed his skill as a landscape painter after encountering works by Hudson River School painters such as Thomas Cole's The Voyage of Life series. The powerful yet tranquil impact of Duncanson's work was inspired and influential to abolitionist teachings of the time period, including Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin. Although Duncanson created many different types of paintings, he is best known for his work as a landscape painter working in a romantic, realist style. Robert Duncanson's Veil of Kashmir is a romantic blend of rose tones and lavender skies over a tropical landscape of banana plants, ferns, and tall palm trees. In the lake, there are several long, thin boats that seem to be carrying people between a group of domed buildings and the opposite shore. Near that water's edge, there appears to be a woman wearing a long white bridal gown and veil in the large grouping of people. This painting is said to tell the story of Lala Rookh, a Persian princess engaged to an Indian king, which is part of an epic poem by Thomas Moore. The Veil of Kashmir is a valley located near the Himalayas. Many of Duncanson's paintings were inspired by literature and poetry of the time. The yoga pose accompanying Duncanson's Veil of Kashmir is the Camel Pose, or Ustrasana, which is associated with love, hope, and compassion. The arching of the back connects to the slope of the mountains in the background of the landscape and the curves of the lake shore in the foreground of the painting. The Camel Pose, Ustrasana, channels love and compassion. The benefits of the pose include boosted confidence, posture, empowerment, and stretching of the abdomen, chest, shoulders, hips, thighs, back, and glutes. Now, let's visit our partners at School Street Yoga, who will lead us in our yoga practice.
Welcome to School Street Yoga. I'm Kathleen Haberstock, and this is the yoga portion of Artful Movements. The central theme of the painting you were just looking at is hope. And a lot of the poses that we'll be doing today can inspire hope. They can empower you and lift your spirits. And much like the beautiful mountain in the painting that you were looking at, Camel Pose mimics that shape of a mountain and can actually lift your spirits the way you feel when you're climbing mountains. I often feel when I'm in nature or going hiking in the mountains, a feeling of being uplifted. And all of these back bends can give you that same feeling. So first we're just gonna settle and begin to breathe. So find your comfortable seat, and you might rock a little forward and back, coming to what feels like center to you. And then allow the eyes to close and just feel your breath for a moment. Noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. And then just allow your eyes to gently open for a moment. We're going to be doing a mudra, which is a yogic gesture that the yogis believe have different, cause different movements of energy. And this pose, this gesture, balances the heart chakra, Anahata chakra. So hands come to heart center, right in front of your heart, and then the middle 3 fingers move apart. So it forms almost a flower, and it symbolizes a flower blooming, the heart blossoming open. You can close the eyes or gaze down into the shape you've created, and just again focus on the breath, noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. Focusing at the heart center, Anahata chakra. And set an intention for your class today. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Allow the eyes to slowly open. So we're going to start on our backs today. We're going to be doing a very gentle form of a back bend. And I just want to say back bending can be intense. So you only want to go as far as is right for you. I actually have a slight back injury today. I fell recently, and just a small injury, but I'm going to possibly modify as well today. And I'll be giving different modifications. So be sure to take good care of yourself. We'll be coming into this back bend either on a blanket or blocks. So you can roll a blanket, and it can, if you find that the way you roll it is too thick, you can always lessen the roll by rolling it out a little bit. You'll come down onto your back and bring your shoulder blades right on that blanket. Arms can tee out or cactus out, and this allows you to find some heart opening right here. You can have the knees bent, feet wide, or you can bring the feet to touch and knees apart. Breathing here. This is one option. I'll show you the other option. The other option is a deeper back bend. So if you're happy where you're at, stay there. If you've got blocks and you want a deeper back bend, you'll take your blocks. You're going to put one block, the lowest level, under the shoulder blades. And then the other block goes under your head, one level higher. So just making sure that block is right under the shoulder blades, and then the other block a level higher under your head. And this is a deeper back bend. So finding this back bend, breathing here. Again, knees can touch, feet can be wide. That's very grounding to the lower back. Or you can bring feet to touch and knees apart. Breathing here. You guys stay in this pose, whichever version you're doing. I'm going to sit up. So continue to breathe. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese monk, suggests that we can meditate to our hearts. You can speak directly to your heart. So as you're breathing here, focus in on Anahata chakra at the center of the chest, and silently repeat to yourself, I am here for you. On the inhale, I am here for you. Exhale, my heart smiles. Inhale, I am here for you. Exhale, my heart smiles. letting that go on your next exhale. Please bring palm against palm at heart center. You're still lying in your back bend. Please bring palm against palm, and then just draw the middle 3 fingers apart. Finding that mudra, the heart mudra. And as you continue breathing here, I'll read to you a little bit about this mudra that balances the heart. Padma Mudra. When the heart chakra is out of balance, we feel weighed down by life with a tendency to focus on the negative, both in terms of past memories and future possibilities. As the heart chakra opens, we are able to embrace and appreciate life with enthusiasm and optimism, allowing us to live in the present moment more fully. The opening of the heart chakra is supported by awakening its essential qualities of gratitude, compassion, and communion, leading to unconditional love's full blossoming. One more big inhale here. Please exhale out the mouth. Now, just allow knees to touch if they were apart. And then you're going to roll to one side, especially if you're up on a block. Roll to one side and then press yourself up. No rush at all to come up. That's a deep back bend. We're going to find our way onto our knees and then find a child's pose. So knees can be wide, big toes touching. Breathing here. A few deep breaths. Just countering that big back bend that we did. And you might come back to that phrase, I am here for you. My heart smiles. Speaking right to your heart. Inhale through the nose, please. Exhale out the mouth. Finding your way up to hands and knees. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So inhaling, heart forward. Exhaling, rounding. Pulling the heart forward on the inhale, rounding through the spine on the exhale. Coming to neutral in your own time, please reach the right arm forward and the left leg back. Reach through arm and leg, inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to round. Next time leg is extended, you can bend the knee and reach for the foot. If that isn't accessible to you, you can balance or you can always drop the foot to the ground and rock. Give yourself a calf stretch. 2 more breaths there. And then let that go. Hand and knee come to the ground. We're going to come to a puppy pose in between. So leaving the hips high, sinking forward, forehead might come to the ground. You can bring palm against palm, elbows to the ground, and then lift the middle 3 fingers, Padma Mudra. This is a shoulder stretch. Breathing here. And you're getting a little hip stretch as well. Letting the arms go, and then slowly coming up. Left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale here, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, exhale, hug it in. Next time you extend, you can stay here, you can bend the knee and reach for the foot, or you can drop the foot and rock forward and back into a calf stretch. Pressing foot into hand if you have it, and then let it go, bringing hand and knee back down. Just walking hands a little forward on the mat now. Tuck the toes and find down dog. Pedaling the feet, bending one knee, bending the other. And come forward to plank. Lower all the way down, either knees, chest, chin, or lower down in one piece. Hands frame your chest. Pull on the hands to find a little back bend. Tops of the feet press down, lifting up. Shoulder blades towards each other on the back. Hug the elbows in. Press the tops of the feet down. And then lower down. Hands can come under the forehead. You can separate the feet. Just a couple of breaths there. And then bringing the feet back in. This time we'll reach the arms back long. You can reach palm facing palm, or you can clasp hands at your lower back. If you've clasped the hands, you can drag the hands to suggest the tailbone lengthen down. And then lifting the heart. And then maybe lifting the legs. Shalabhasana. And then lower down. Turn a cheek to the mat, please. And just release. Bringing hands back to either side of the chest. Pull on the hands, pull the heart forward, low cobra. You might find a little bit of a higher cobra. And then lower yourself back down. One more time, we'll do Shalabhasana. So clasping the hands, maybe the less familiar clasp, reaching knuckles back, or palms are facing each other. Lifting the heart first, knuckles reach back, and then maybe lifting the legs. So strengthening to the body, to the lower back. And then lower down and turn the other cheek to the side. And just melt. In your own time, pressing yourself up, forearms on the ground. Sphinx Pose. So pulling through the heart through the forearms. And breathe. If you want a little more, you can bend the knees. But if that's too much on your back, lower the feet back down. Now, one of the things we need to stretch out for Camel Pose, Ustrasana, that we'll be doing in a little bit, we need to stretch the hip flexors. So just lowering the legs back down if they were raised. Let the left hand move towards the right wrist. And then bend the right knee and reach for the right foot. And breathe here. Foot can move down any amount, and it might move to the outside of the hip. And Can you soften that right hip down any amount as you breathe here? And press into the left forearm. And then let that go, coming back to center. Right fingers towards the left wrist, bend the left knee, reaching back for that left foot and breathing here. Can you soften that left hip crease down any amount? Press into the right arm. And then let that go. Just let yourself melt back down, forehead on the hands. Just sending loving kindness to your heart. I am here for you on the inhale. Exhale, my heart smiles. In your own time, no rush to get there, we're going to roll onto our backs once again. So you can just find your way over onto your back. Knees bent, feet wide, knees touching. We're going to find our bridge pose, Satu Bandasana. So hands can grab the outer edges of the mat. Feet are hips width distance or sits bone distance, not the outer hip distance. And they're pretty close, so you could graze the feet, the heels with the tips of the fingers, and then grab the outer edges of the mat. We'll press into the feet and lift the hips. And then let's just exhale and lower. Inhale, lifting hips. Exhale and lower. One more like that. Exhaling to lower. Now we're going to come up maybe a little higher. So, lifting the hips, shimmy the shoulders under you. You might stay here with palms facing the ceiling. You might clasp the hands under your back. Breathing here. Three more breaths. And then lowering down vertebra by vertebra. And bringing knees to touch, feet wide. We can rock the knees side to side a few times. Now you'll see what it's like to rock forward and back. Hugging the knees in, little rocking. If it's better for you to roll to one side, then do that. And we'll rock right up. Over to hands and knees. Finding down dog. Lifting the hips. Breathing here, pedaling the feet. And then you'll begin to walk your feet forward to the front of your mat in a forward fold. Mindfully walking the feet forward to the front of the mat. And then be in a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows. You can have a nice sway to the spine, a shake of the head.
You can have a generous bend to the knees. Let the arms go. And we'll keep the knees bent and roll it up vertebra by vertebra till you come to standing. Roll the shoulders up and then down the back. So we'll find our way to the center of the mat. Just mindfully walk to the center, facing the long edge of your mat. Lift all 10 toes, spread them, and then feel the feet planting down. Clasp the hands behind your back, please, and lift the heart. Little inhale. Begin to bend the knees into skier's pose. One more big inhale here. Exhale, folding over the legs, maybe straightening the legs, knuckles overhead. Inhale, draw heart forward, look forward. Exhale, fold, straightening legs as much as possible. One more like that. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale to fold. Let the hands go, please. Inhale, flat back, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Lifting the arms, finding your way all the way up, and hands to heart center. So we'll take a wide straddle now, feet fairly far apart. You might measure from wrist to ankle. You might find that works. You might find your stance is a little shorter than that, and that's fine. But no, you could go as wide as a line from your wrist to your ankle. We'll clasp now the less familiar clasping of the hands. Lift the heart, big inhale. Begin to find a flat back as you fold forward, and then letting the head go, breathing there. Let the hands go to the floor or blocks. Inhale, flat back, pull the heart forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold. One more like that. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale to fold. Hands to the hips, rise all the way up. Little back bend, and then come to center. Now we're going to bring our hands to our back, fingertips pointing up, heels of the hands pointing down, elbows in, and lift the heart any amount. Hips move forward a little bit, into a little bit deeper back bend. And then coming back up to center, letting that go. Clasp the hands, please, the other thumb on top. Lift the heart, folding forward. And then hands to the floor or blocks. Right hand will stay on the mat or the block. Left arm lifts. And then thread the left arm through towards the right leg. You can come up to fingertips or walk the right hand forward in order to look under the right armpit. You can walk that left hand down the right leg any amount and breathe. And let that go. Left hand to the mat. Press or the block, lift the right arm up, and then threading the right arm through under the left arm to the left leg. Walk the right hand down the left leg. Come up to fingertips or walk the left hand forward to look under the left armpit. Lowering the right hand down the leg will deepen the twist, and breathe. And let that go. One more time, flat back. Exhale to fold. Hands to the hips, find a flat back.
Coming all the way up and then back into a back bend. Hips move forward, big inhale. Exhaling, come to center. So we're gonna find our way, first feet coming in, down to our knees. So just bending the knees and finding your way down. So Camel Pose, Ustrasana, can be kind of intense. So you might want a blanket. So I'm gonna show several variations of this pose. And the most important is to take care of yourself. So blanket under the knees. And we're gonna bring our hands as if we're wearing back pockets. So tucking the hands into the back pockets, elbows towards one another, lift the heart. Breathe here. And then coming out of that, sitting on your heels, or you can sit on a block between your feet. But either way, bring the hands to heart center, move the middle 3 fingers apart, Padma Mudra, and breathe here. So that might be the version of camel that's best for you today. Another version that you can try if you have a chair, or I have this wall behind me, is you can bring your hands to something that's low but not that low. And you could even bring forearms down and reach the hips forward. And this is a nice way to get into a milder version of camel. And then coming back out of that. We're gonna bring blocks to either side of our feet now. Highest level block. And your toes are going to be tucked. They're tucked. The toes are tucked. And then in fact, we'll do a little foot stretch to start. Make sure all 5 of both of your toes are tucked and sit back on your heels. And that can be an intense stretch. We'll clasp the hands behind our back, lift the heart, and then let that go. Now we're gonna lift up into a kneeling position. So half camel can be a nice option as well if you're feeling as if a full camel might be too much for you. And it's also just a good way to test things out. So we'll bring we'll bring the left hand to the block behind you and the right arm up. And then switching. Bring the right hand to the block behind you and the left arm up. Hips move forward. You almost can pretend there's a wall in front of you and press your hips forward. And then coming back to center. So now, if you'd like to try a more full camel, we'll do that. So we'll start with half camel again though. So reaching the arms up and just let that left hand come back. And then you can swim that right arm back to finding the block and breathing there. Pressing hips forward. And then rising back up. We're gonna sit on the heels again, or you can bring a block between your feet, whatever feels right to you today. Bringing hands to heart center, moving those 3 middle fingers apart and breathing. And then letting that go on your next exhale. We'll come back up onto our knees. So now, you may already have been moving into a deeper back bend if that's right for you. You may prefer to stay with the blocks and the half camel or a full camel. You can always, if you want, on this next one, if you're feeling we've warmed up our backs. So if you're feeling very limber and you know you can do
a camel with your toes untucked. You're welcome to do that. But I'm going to talk us through with the toes tucked. So we'll start with the half camel again. So now we're reaching for our ankles. So left hand comes down to that ankle, right arm up, and then we'll switch. And then you'll swim that other arm back, grabbing onto the ankles, moving the hips forward. Breathe here. And then letting it go and sitting back. Again, a block between the feet or on the ankles. And if that doesn't work for you to sit back on the heels, then you can come into a more comfortable seat. Palms to touch, move the middle 3 fingers apart and breathing here. I am here for you. My heart smiles. Big inhale through the nose, let it go out the mouth. Allow the eyes to open. And we're going to find our way down to a seat. So just coming off that block, sitting down on the mat, and then we'll find our way down onto our backs. So finding your way down, you might hug the knees in, give them a little squeeze. You could roll the ankles one way and roll them the other way. Bring the feet flat to the floor and then just straighten through both legs and reach the arms overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, hug the right knee in. Give it a squeeze. Roll the right ankle one way. Roll it the other way. Right knee across the body to the left hand can guide the knee. Right arm can tee out or cactus. And breathe here, you can look to the right. Coming back to center in your own time, give the knee a squeeze and let it go. Hugging the left knee in, give it a squeeze. Roll the left ankle one way. Roll the left ankle the other way. Right hand will guide the knee across the body to the left. Tee out the left arm, maybe look to the left. Breathe there. And then coming back to center in your own time. Hug both knees in, give them a squeeze. Squeezing the knees in. Big inhale. Exhale it out the mouth. And then inhale, extend the legs, extend the arms. And find your Shavasana today. It might be that it would be best to bend the knees and bring the feet flat to the floor, knees touching feet wide. It might be that it's okay to lie on your back. You could also roll up a blanket or a pillow and put it under your knees. But finding what feels comfortable and right to you today. And then just allow yourself to settle. Maybe for a moment, thinking to your heart, I am here for you on the inhale, and on the exhale, my heart smiles.
Continuing to lie there, you might begin to deepen the breath. And then drawing palm against palm at heart center, just draw those 3 middle fingers away from each other, finding Padma Mudra. Alan Finger says, when Anahata chakra, or the heart chakra, becomes balanced, spiritual clarity is restored. When understanding and unconditional love blossom on the inside, you act differently on the outside. Not needing to judge yourself, you cease to judge others. Not needing to judge yourself, you cease to judge others. Very powerful. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out your mouth. Letting go of Padma Mudra, you can roll to either side and pause in fetal position for just a moment. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat. You might want to sit on a chair or on a blanket. Just a few more moments meditating with our hearts. At Kripalu Yoga, they say it's so important to fill the well. Fill the well. So we're filling our own wells by this heart-centered yoga practice. And then you can go out and give love to others. So if you like Padma Mudra, you can bring palms to heart center, moving those 3 fingers apart, breathing there. If you've had enough of it, you can have your hands by your side. And just allow the eyes to close or gaze to the floor. You might come to that meditative mantra, I am here for you, speaking to your heart. I'm here for you on the inhale. On the exhale, my heart smiles. Or any other mantra or words that feel right to you. Thoughts will come into the mind. That's what the mind does. You can label them thinking, and then just draw your focus back to the breath, back to the mantra. I am here for you. My heart smiles. On your next exhale, exhale out the mouth, please. Letting the hands go if you still had Padma Mudra. Keep the eyes closed or keep gazing to the floor. And I'll read to you this poem. This is by Derek Walcott. Love after love. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Please draw palm against palm at heart center. Let's move those 3 middle fingers apart to make Padma Mudra one more time. Perhaps feel the beating of your heart beneath your hands. Bow your head towards your heart. Honor your practice. Honor that you showed up today for it. And know that you're taking your practice out into your lives, to your loved ones. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you to Colby College and Colby Art Museum. Have a great rest of your day and see you next time.
I hope you have enjoyed today's yoga program. If you would like to spend more time with this artwork, I encourage you to participate in another upcoming program, Artful Meditation and Expression. Be sure to like and follow us on all of our social media accounts at Colby Museum and visit us at colby.edu/museum to stay updated with all of our digital museum at home programs. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you for our next Artful Movements.